What's going on, guys? This is Mab. This is the first video for my channel. Yeah, so I got a couple of these DOKIO's solar panels. They're the 220-watt panels, and I got a couple of ECOFLOW Delta 2s with an extra battery. So I'm at a park, plenty of sunshine. I'm gonna try to test them out, hook them up in series, and then test them out, see what kind of wattage we're getting. So yeah. So I got one fully deployed, and I'm testing the polarity of these because these come with SAE connectors. So I have a voltmeter out here, and it's currently showing 20 volts DC, and where the red is the positive, and where the black is the negative. So I'm gonna have to make a note of that when I'm hooking these up, so that there's no cross polarities. I did pick up an SAE to MC4 connector, and it comes with a polarity switcher. So from the tests, as you can see, the bottom part right here is the positive, which connects to this end right here, but this end is wired black, which by most convention is negative. So I'm going to have to put this piece in between this two, so that the polarities come out correctly and matches the colors. Okay, so I got it hooked up. I got the adapter hooked up, and then I got the SAE to MC4 connector hooked up. And as we can see, the red goes to the red wire and black goes to the black wire, and we're getting a positive 20 volts, which means that our polarity is correct. So that's just something you got to be aware of, that you got to check your polarities first, and then grab the adapter to switch them, so that when it comes out into your MC4, that the polarities matches the colors of the wire, and that will make it easier for future use when you're hooking them up quickly. So yeah, I'm going to do that, the same thing for the other panel, and see if it's the same case. Okay, so I got the second panel unfurled. That's the first one over there. This is the second one, and it is showing a positive 20 volts when I'm hooking up in this configuration. So the wiring of these do come out crossed in regard to the MC4 standards of the wires, of the wire colors. So we're also going to have to put the adapter on here before we could hook it into the MC4 adapter. Alright, cool. So the cross polarity adapter is connected, and we've hooked into the MC4 adapter. So now red wire goes to red, black wire goes to black, and we're showing around 19.7 volts positive. So that means that this wiring is correct. So that means that we are good to go to hook them up in series and hook them up into our batteries, and hopefully we get some wattage out of them. Okay, cool. So I've got both panels side to side, and I have hooked up the black from one panel into the red of the other, and then with the remaining wires I am putting in the voltmeter into it, and we are seeing double the voltage. So around 40 volts open circuit. So for series, when you hook them up in series, you add the voltages, and yeah, that's what we're seeing here. So it basically doubles the voltage, and I'm going to try to hook them up into the ECOFLOW. Here's the wire that I'm going to be hooking them up into. So I'm hooking those ends of the MC4 into those ends right there, and then it goes into an XT60 connector, which will plug into the back of these ECOFLOWs. Okay, so I got the MC4 to XT60 connector hooked up, and that should be the polarity. The left side is positive, the right side is negative. And hooking it up into the voltmeter, we do see around 40 volts positive. So this is good to go to plug into our ECOFLOW. So this is the back of the ECOFLOW Delta 2. You could charge it with AC power from the wall, or you could plug in an XT60 connector and charge it with the solar panels. But just keep in mind that the EcoFlow has a maximum input voltage of 60 volts, so you don't want to go over that when you are pairing up your solar panels. So if I wanted to do another, like a third panel, and hook that one in series, it would be really dicey, because then I would be hovering at exactly 60 volts, and if the sun is really like beaming down, then that could climb up to like 65 and won't charge the battery, because it will just cut off power input. So just with the two panels, 40 volts is fine, and it has a 15 amps max input. So yeah, we'll just plug it in and see how it goes. Okay, so we got that hooked up, and we got it hooked up into our battery. Oop, dropped it. And we're getting around, and I don't know if you can see that, we're getting around 192 watts, almost 200 watts from the pair of 220s. So that's about less than 50% efficiency, but it is a bit of an overcast sky, and under more ideal sun conditions that will probably be higher, but at least that it works. I know that it works. So we're getting 200 out of 440 watts total. So yeah, so we know that this charges. I'm going to plug into that Delta 2 and the max battery hooked up, and then we'll see if that will charge it as well. Okay, so here's the Delta 2 with the extra battery hooked up together. Right now they're both at around 81-83%. I'm going to plug these in real time to the top one, and then that will show you how the MPPT actually works. So let's see, have a good angle here. Okay, that's good enough, I guess. There. Okay, that's plugged in. I'm gonna watch this. Give it a minute. It's gonna try it. There you go. So wow, the MPPT is actually doing 200 watts. So I guess the sun came out a little bit. The clouds are going away or something, but we're getting 210 watts input from these two panels. So that's not bad. 200 watts. Could probably charge this in about, like, I don't know, this is 1,000, this is 1,000, so 2,000. 10 hours, a little bit rough, but if you use this power conservatively, it could probably last you indefinitely if you just charge every day in good sunlight. And yeah, so we're getting 200 something watts input, and it's charging both of them equally. So you see how we have 200 input but 100 and something output. That output is going into the extra battery down here. So that's the input right here, input from here. So EcoFlow does a good job of balancing the power inputs in both. Well, actually, it does a good job of balancing the power both in terms of input and output. So yeah, I'd say it's a pretty successful test. And don't forget to subscribe, like, comments, all that stuff. Hopefully I will be able to put out more content. This is my first video, so it's kind of impromptu, but yeah, I'm hoping to take this out camping and, you know, cook with it and stuff. So yeah, until next time, peace.